We're really now having to rethink everything in the light of AI. The new way forward, I call it the new way forward with AI. And we're just beginning it, by the way. We're just starting this little journey with these kind of crude, relatively crude machines that are eventually going to be super smart. Anyhow, one thing that you guys have been part of, we couldn't have done AI till now. And I want to kind of just put this in context. And you play a part of this story, which is why I'm doing this fast here. First of all, we had to ramp up, we couldn't have done this in 1980. We had to get much more powerful computer chips. So we spent 40 years doing that. I laid out how that happened. Then we had to connect everything, not just person, to the internet. So we spent a lot of time doing that, and we've been doing that, the Internet of Things and all that. Then we had to digitize all our data. Believe it or not, in 1980, there was like 7% of all data was digital. I mean, it's analog. And so we had to get everything digitized. Then, and this is you guys, had to get it all to the cloud. And by the way, I've done business audiences for, 15 years. I was kind of having to, how many cloud conferences could you have? But it took 15 years for businesses to kind of make that migration into the cloud. And then I would add that we probably had to have these really super prosperous tech companies to put billions of dollars into the research of this. No one else was doing it. The US government wasn't doing it. But, Google and that was just throwing money at this stuff because they had so much money. And only then could you do AI. But the one way to think about this, by the way, is one, the part you guys play in this, but AI doesn't need another 20 years for infrastructure, 40 years of infrastructure. It's ready to go. So it's going to move fast. This is unlike a lot of things, which, the cloud, it's going to take 15, 20 years to kind of pull that off. This is a different animal. It's ready to go, it's going. This is why it's kind of off the races. Now, there's two ways to think about this. I just want to do it, and I know you're going to get a more technical thing on AI coming up here. But all technologies go through two stages. One is the foundational infrastructure stage, which, by the way, you guys are part of. So go back to the car revolution. The first 40 years of figuring out, the Model T Ford was, let's say, 1908, right? So the beginning of 1910 there, basically, we had to what is the car company? Oh, what's a gas station? Oh, we have someone has to drill oil. Where are we going to drill oil? I mean, where is a gas station? Okay, somebody's going to do it in every neighborhood, right? Then once you get that, which is after the war, then you can figure out, well, what can you do with this car in the hands of everybody? And that's when we totally reinvented America and, the world too. The suburbs, malls, fast food, drive-ins, all that kind of stuff. Because then anyone could do it. You didn't have to be a kind of a geek, kind of drilling oil kind of thing. We're in that exact situation now here, folks. If you think of AI as the culmination of the digital revolution. So we spent the last 40 years, this has been my career, like figuring out what's a PC, what's the internet, what's the mobile phone, what's the cloud. And now that that's kind of up and all working, now it's like, oh, what can you do with AI? Well, you can do executive assistants and, autonomous cars, all that stuff. I'll touch on a few of those. But so that's what's in the hands of everybody now. People are going to go nuts. They're going to go nuts with AI. Basically, there's going to be an entrepreneur taking AI and applying it to everything, basically, which is, you guys are going to win under any scenario because they're going to need data, they're going to need data centers for this. But anyhow, the point being, the second thing I think you got to understand and why this is such a big deal is the entire history of computers since mainframe has essentially been how do you interact with that computer power, or how do you interact with the data behind that computer power? And at first, the mainframe days, you had to have these arcane command line things and, punch cards. I mean, some people as old as me, I actually remember I've done punch cards back when I was a kid, right? Anyhow, the point is, that was hard. PCs made them a little easier. Oh, we can use icons and stuff. The web said, oh, you do a link and it'll get to something, but people didn't know how to code it as well, although HTML is easier. Mobile is like, oh, apps, make it more and more accessible. But here's the deal. The Holy Grail has always been talking to computers. Always. And it always will be. It's the optimal way to interact with this technology. Just like it's the optimal way to we talk. I'm talking to you, right? Humans are geared to talking. Jean-Luc Picard said 300 years in the future, Jean-Luc Picard, what does he do with the computer? He says, computer, ask to that. Computer, do that. We hit it. We crossed that threshold. That is the game changer.